Hey guys, this is Jacques from MakuluLinux. I've done a little bit more work on the distribution or the Xfce version 7.0 of MakuluLinux, and I just want to show off a little bit more of what I've done since the last video. Of course, apart from the bug fixes and things that I've found that are broken that I've sort of fixed, I'm just going to show you the visual side, obviously. I've been doing a bit more work on compers and just theming and the looks and things, so I'm going to be showing off that a little bit more today. So firstly, with compers turned off, as I showed last time, there is a bit of transparency. Even with compers off, your bottom panel is transparent, your borders are transparent. So there's a bit of transparency. I'm actually thinking of adding some more, maybe making a lot of the pop-ups transparent and so forth, things like that. I'll still probably play around with that quite a bit in the weeks to come. Of course, when you turn compers on, that's when the magic will happen. That's pretty much where the guys with the newer PCs, the Core i5s and Core i7s and Core i3s, that can sort of run full effects mode. You guys will really love this distribution because that's literally where all the magic happens. I mean, that's where all the transparency kicks in. Now, last time I showed the transparent window borders, transparent bottom panel. I showed the effects of Conky, obviously. Sorry, compers, where you can. That's fully functional, and of course I showed the cube fully functional, as well as with all the reflections and everything turned on. So that's pretty awesome. What I've also done is I've themed the menu. Okay, so I've themed the menu, the Xfce Whisker menu. I've literally themed it to match the current theme on the system. As you can see, the same color highlights. You've got the sort of a semi-white, off-white grayish highlight window over here, as well as the sort of darker charcoal gray background over here. You've also got the blue highlight indicators on the menu that match the current theme on the system. So I've skinned the menu. I've also made the menu semi-transparent. As you can see, you can literally see through it. If I actually open up something, you can see the backgrounds and so forth. So the menu is semi-transparent as well. Okay, so on top of everything else is transparent, the menu is semi-transparent. Okay, now obviously with compers off, it's not semi-transparent. I'm thinking of making it semi-transparent because I can with compers off. But at this stage, I don't know if I'm actually going to do that. But with compers on, it is semi-transparent. On top of that, your normal pop-ups, for example, let's say I go click on something with properties or whatever, so you get your little pop-up windows. I've made those semi-transparent as well, so you can literally like choose something and still at the same time see through behind it, sort of just barely. Now the reason I did this was a lot of times when you change a setting or something, or behavior, or you change something, you can see live what it changes or whatever the case might be. And if that's the case, then this is nice because you can literally don't have to change something and then minimize to see the effects. You can literally see it live, and it is semi-transparent, but it's still quite visible. You can literally see, unless you got vision problems, in which case you can always turn off the transparency. But unless you got vision problems, the normal person should find this quite nice. So yeah, so a lot more transparency all over the show. I've also started installing the default apps and everything. So you got your Steam and you got your Play on Linux. You've got Wine fully installed. You got your Kingsoft Office. Of course, they changed their name now to WPS Office, but it's still the same thing. It's Kingsoft Office. So Kingsoft Office installed, Foxit Readers installed, XF Burn is installed. But seeing as this is Ubuntu based and not Debian based, I went with Rhythmbox and Totem Video Player. They are the two that are recommended for Ubuntu, so I chose those two instead. The Pulse Audio volume controls are still there, the same as it was with our Debian edition. I just find these controls to be better. They have more options and easy to configure. Of course, internet side, you got Firefox, web browser, Pigeon, Internet Messenger, you got Thunderbird, mail, your mail client, the same as we have in our Debian edition. We normally use Chrome, but I see that in Ubuntu Firefox is smaller by almost 100 megs smaller, so I thought give that a bash. I'll still play around with that and see how that goes. May change back to Chrome if I don't like Firefox. But if I'm able to configure all the tiles and everything else that I usually do in Chrome, if I can do that in Firefox, then that will be a keeper. Graphics wise, you've got Image Magic, Pinta, Simple Scan, all standard. Nomax Image Viewer, standard. We released that with the Cinnamon edition, so users will probably like that a lot, but yeah, it's there as well. Accessories, you've got your LeafPad, standard LeafPad text editor, you've got a backup application finder. This is all standard stuff. So yeah, it's still based on the Xfce 4.10. however, I have added the 4.12 repositories, but apparently only a number of packages get upgraded, not the full 4.12. so there are a couple of 4.11 packages in the 4.10, in this 4.10, so it's actually a mixture of 4.10 and 4.11. I think the Xfce 4 session, the Xfce 4 settings manager, and quite a few other packages are actually version 4.11, not 4.10. So it is a mixture of 4.10 and 4.11, and of course when they update the repositories to 4.12, those updates will get streamed through to the users. But all in all, the system's running very well. I have no complaints so far on that. I had a couple of issues with startup and restart and logging in and logging out, where the system would literally hang when I tried to do some of those things, but that's all fixed. I have noticed that with the software updater in Ubuntu, it's not as fluid as the Debian updater. And I must say I'm quite surprised, because at this point in time, you know, I assume things like that would be superior in Ubuntu, but I find it's not. I mean, the only real thing that I can find that's very much superior in Ubuntu at this stage is the driver manager. I mean, it is such a breeze to update drivers in Ubuntu compared to Debian. But apart from that, the rest I actually find well far easier in Debian to do. So the software updater, I noticed it doesn't actually schedule, even though it's marked to schedule for updates, it doesn't actually check automatically updates every 15 or 20 minutes or half an hour or whatever. I've noticed when I do, because I've got a little shortcut here for updating the apt cache, updating repositories. When I actually refresh that cache, then often the software updater will then pop up and say there's new updates. So it's not doing it automatic, and I have done quite a bit of research on that online, and I found that a lot of people have been complaining about the updater, that it seems to be a very old bug in Ubuntu. So I'll have a look at that and see if it's something that I can fix, but I wouldn't hold my breath. I mean, if the Ubuntu team couldn't or can't get it to function properly, I may not either. But at the end, if it's a bug that can't be fixed, then at least it's a bug that's, you know, with all Ubuntu variants and not just something that we'll have. But I'll have a look at it. So it's not a deal breaker, if you know what I mean. I mean, it's nothing to click, you know, update your repositories, which you do anyway every like couple of days, and then obviously updates will come through. Apart from that, system is running so smooth. I don't have words. I will now start adding a lot of custom scripts and so forth, you know, usual Makulu stuff I put in. Yeah, so this is Jacques from MakuluLinux. I'm just giving you guys an update. This is still pre-alpha. I'm hoping to have an alpha version in a few weeks, and the process then from alpha to beta to public release is usually fairly snappy. It all just really depends on how many bugs get found. I mean, I build them quite quickly, so if people report bugs within 2-3 days, I try and fix them, put out the next build. If no bugs are found in like 2-3 days, I automatically move to the next build. But once I got to the alpha stage with Cinnamon, it was a matter of 3 to 4 weeks, and it went from alphas to betas to release. So I'm expecting a lot less bugs with Xfce than we had with Cinnamon. So yeah, I don't think it will be too much longer. I'm hoping to have this out sooner rather than later. Although I don't want to release anything that's got bugs in it. But like I said, at this point in time, I really can't find many. There might be a couple of minor bugs. You know, I am testing this on like 2 or 3 PCs, so I don't have a variety of hardware from all shapes and sizes that I can test this on. So once I actually released it to testers, who then, you know, they'll have 2 or 3 PCs each and they run them, and I'll get a much better view on you know, if there's any bugs with, like for example, if there's a bug on this PC with this type of graphics card or whatever the case might be, then I can fix those. But at this stage on the hardware that I have, it's really running like a dream. I don't have any problems with that. My only major concern at this stage is the size of the ISO. You know, Ubuntu, I don't know why, but everything just seems to be bigger in Ubuntu. If I built this on Debian, I'm pretty sure I could have limited this ISO maybe to 1.2 or 1.3 gigabytes in size. I have a feeling this is going to actually end up somewhere between 1.5 and 1.7 gigabytes, just because it's Ubuntu, and I don't think that's something that I'm going to be able to do much about. So I would say probably expect the ISO that's probably going to be somewhere in the region of 1.5 to 1.7 gigabyte download. Fortunately, luckily, it's a once-off download. You know, it's not something you have to download constantly. But yeah, it's running very well. The system is on schedule for release soon, and yeah, I just thought I'd update you guys. So this is Jacques from MakuluLinux signing out. Cheers.